Hi guys, this is Erica Weston with
Valley
Sports Midwest, and you're listening to my favorite St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio.
As the world's only personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment and your DNA, ID Life provides its members with high-quality ingredients backed by pure science.
It's science.
Check out rockinthatidlife.com and speak with Dustin about how you can reach your goals today. That's rockinthatidlife.com.
Center Ice Brewery is a proud sponsor of Let's Go Blues Radio. Visit centericebrewery.com today to schedule a no-contact curbside pickup or make a reservation in their awesome tap room. That's Center Ice Brewery, located in Midtown St. Louis. Let's go Blues!
Welcome to Season 9, Episode 48 of Let's Go Blues Radio. This is the fully vaccinated, often imitated, but never duplicated, the unrefrigerated, the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by rockinthatidlife.com, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based off a health assessment of your DNA. I also just realized I have you guys reversed. So let me...
you do.
Let me fix that. All right. There we go. So now Bill and Kurt are in the right spot.
I'm Kurt Price.
Yeah, not tonight.
I'm
folks.
Ron Burgundy.
We're broadcasting live on Wednesday, August 11th, 2021. This is franchise episode number 314 all time. I'm your host, Jeff Ponder, and I'm joined by Kurt Price and Bill Dave. For your listening pleasure, we'll be talking St. Louis Blues hockey for the next little while. To interact with the show on social media, we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just do a search for us. If you can listen to a podcast, you can certainly search the internet. Have you checked out our Discord server? Blues fans can talk with other Blues fans with either text or voice chat. The three hosts of the show will periodically be in there this summer, especially when any news breaks. For more info, go to letsgoblues.com/Discord. And I'll add, kind of the dog days of summer. We're not in there much right now, but if anything does happen, you can expect at least one of us to probably jump in there shortly after it happens.
It doesn't matter how you say Discord, because it sounds wrong. Discord.
Well,
Discord.
I just enjoy saying it a different way.
I feel like I need to have my own way of saying it since you guys have your own distinct way of saying it. So I'm going to go with Disco RD.
Why don't you go with Discord? Does that work?
That's very much like Planetarium.
Planetarium.
I say it right. Jeff says it wrong. Is there an option, Bill, besides right and wrong? You can be.
No, I'm gonna go with
language.
Disco RD. Actually, in French, it probably is just Disco. But
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Discord.
Discord.
Yeah.
I'll
let me finish my damn joke. I go with Disco RD. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the record service Disco G's, which there's a very deep argument among record heads, vinyl lovers. Is it Disco G or is it Discogs?
There was a joke in there? Did I miss that?
And, well, there was supposed to be. There was supposed to be, but you kept interrupting me.
Oh.
Folks, we are dual live streaming right now on YouTube and Facebook. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the show, smash the bell so you'll get notifications when we go live. I will go ahead and say, folks, that I teased earlier this week, I believe it was on Monday, that we were going to have a very special guest. We actually had two special guests that were scheduled to come on, but unfortunately both had to cancel, so we had to change things up. We're now doing another Mystery Hockey Theater, which we've got a pretty fun one for this one. So if you're watching the video, make sure you stay tuned for the second segment of the show because that's going to be a lot of fun. And let's say the most fun part happens right away. Like I think it's like 46 seconds into the game.
Right.
So
Right.
anyway, so also, yeah, so I want to say we'll be pushing those two off, the two guests that we mentioned. We'll be pushing them off, hopefully both next week, but if not, definitely one of them will be in next week. So expect something special next week. Folks, Mr. Bill Day, Mr. Kurt Price, let's hear from you. How has your past week been? Any fun stories for the listening crew?
I've been coaching soccer.
You're like Ted Lasso?
Yeah, a little bit. If Ted Lasso were previously a hockey coach or a hockey player or a softball coach, in my case, where I just got done coaching softball a month and a half ago or whatever it was, now we're coaching soccer. So that's pretty fun. And I had never coached soccer before. Played a lot as a kid. Played for 4 or 5 years in leagues and stuff, but I never played. I haven't played in a long time, and certainly never coached. So this is fun. Got an assistant coach, Coach Beard.
So
do
when
you have Coach Beard?
When you get really mad, do you change your name to Pert Kreis?
No, don't do that. No.
Ted
no,
Lasso
God,
fans
hell
get
no.
that joke. Bill, you been coaching soccer? What are you doing?
No, not coaching soccer. I did venture up into enemy territory. Took a real fast trip up to Chicago end of last week. And,
Did you go to the oven grinder's place? Pizza grinder place?
No, we did. We did not have time to wait. We were literally there. Like we left home and we're back within 36 hours. So we didn't have a whole ton of time. So we wound up just actually going to Giordano's to get the deep dish fix. First time either of us had been there. It was pretty good. It was like a beautiful night sitting out on the patio out in front of it, just block off Michigan Avenue. So that was really nice. A lot of Chicago is still in kind of pandemic timing. A lot of places are still closing early. So didn't get to stay out too late, and places didn't open too early. So yeah, it was a real short trip, but good time. Got to go to the Art Institute like we love to do, and taking all the beautiful pictures, and yeah, it was fun, but yeah, not as fun as coaching soccer, I bet.
These are under 12, so U12 soccer. So it's a learning experience for most of them still. So it's fun though.
Is it beyond the swarm of bees soccer style? Like, do they actually have individuality at this point?
I don't know, because we've had a scrimmage and we've had some smaller drills and stuff, strikers and defense and stuff. But we don't know. I don't know yet. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the swarm of bees play where there's 12 kids all around the ball, kicking and hacking away. But I don't think it's going to be that way. If that's the case, we'll put a stop to that real quick.
Swarm of bees. That's something that kind of happens in the game we're going to talk about tonight. All kind of gather in one spot, start hacking and whacking. Yep, which we'll get to.
Sounds like a good movie.
It does. So I'm actually looking at a text right now that I'm getting called out for, and I'll tell you why. Crappy Goalie texted me earlier tonight, and I wanted to read this text on air because I thought it was funny. He says, "I'm a bachelor tonight. My wife and daughter went to Lost Valley Lake for a couple nights. I have pizza set to be delivered at 9:15 and some cold beers in hand. I'm ready for the show." I thought that was awesome. I was like, oh, look at that. He's going to basically just be hanging out, watching the game with us, having a beer, and enjoying what we're going to be watching. So thought that was fun.
Dan,
and then he calls me out and says, "Hey, what are you looking at?" And I was like, "Your text, because I'm getting ready to read it."
in the Facebook chat, Dan Krause says, Ponder eats pizza with a knife and fork.
Oh, only Chicago style.
Is that true?
Chicago style. Hell yeah, you got to, right?
I you know what? Any deep dish, I am not against. No, I don't do the knife thing. I'll just use the fork, to kind of cut and eat sometimes with an unusually thick pizza. Sure.
Yeah. I think the only person in the world who can rightfully be have that much indignity over eating pizza with a knife and fork was Jon Stewart when he had Bill de Blasio on when he first became mayor of New York. But apart from that, if you're eating deep dish, you better have a knife and fork.
Wasn't that a New York style pizza though? It was. Yeah. Right. See, that's weird.
I'm also looking at the Facebook chat here, and we have Gail Sewell in the chat, which, by the way, for everyone might not know, that is Crappy Goalie's mother. So she's going to be watching the game with us apparently, and she says Cards win, which is great, and she even says Jason will be here after he retrieves his pizza. So
pizza sounds good right now.
Are they watching this together? That would be an adorable family moment.
Aww. Pics or didn't happen.
Yep.
Pizza sounds good right now.
Pizza always sounds good. I could eat pizza anytime. You know what we started getting delivered? Because we moved to South County a couple of years ago. Bellacino's is my favorite pizza in the St. Louis area. And of course, I still like Emos, so I'll get that every now and then. But the wife, she likes Pizza Hut, but only because we really don't have a whole lot of options out here. So we started getting CC's delivered. And I tell you what, the price isn't bad. And I think CC's has great pizza. So just a tip for those of you who maybe are looking for a new pizza to be delivered.
What's in your mind the best cheap ass pizza?
Cheap ass pizza?
Yeah. Like
are we talking like
the
usual delivery kind, or are we talking
I'm talking like anything. I'm talking like cheap pizza is just good.
Well, I think Little Caesars is really good.
For $5 you can't beat Little Caesars. It's not a great pizza, but for $5, that
for
$5
makes
a big difference.
Yeah.
For $5,
we had a family
for $5.
We had a family get together, and plus you had in the crazy bread, which is the best part.
Crazy bread's good. I like crazy bread.
Crazy good, if you ask me.
Crazy good.
We had a family get together, and it was me, my brother, his family, my mom. I think it was like $25 to feed all of us. It was ridiculous.
Just the beginning of Parents Who Don't Understand.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah. I will say that my all-time favorite cheap pizza was when I went to school at Providence. There was this hole-in-the-wall pizza joint that had the Providence College special, and for $4 you get a medium cheese pizza. That right there was why I put on the freshman 15, but it was more like the freshman 30. Because damn, ordered that like 3 nights a week.
Carbondale,
so good.
I lost weight. I lost weight when I was a freshman.
I did too. I lost a lot of weight when I played a lot of hockey, and I missed meals because I slept through at breakfast, and I could only eat when I was during the dining periods, and if I missed it, I missed it. And I played a lot of hockey, and I walked to class.
I just lived at home, but the thing was that my lifestyle completely changed, and I stopped snacking at night just because I was actually doing homework my freshman year, which that didn't last long. I actually ended up losing like 20 pounds. I remember being like, man, I'm in great shape. I should go try out for the ice hockey team.
Would you consider Casey's a cheap pizza? I mean, it's gas station pizza.
Yes. That's good pizza.
That's my favorite. I mean, it's like twice as much as a Little Caesars, but it's like 5 times better.
It's good.
Really, really good.
I think the math adds up there.
Oh my God.
I don't think I've had it in probably like almost 30 years. I think I was probably 15, 16 the last time I had Casey's pizza, but man, it was good.
It's quite good. Gas station pizza. It's the best gas station pizza I think I've ever had.
Yeah,
It's really good.
that's always good. Guys, I wanna do a quick call out to a new friend of the show. So I'll add on Friday, if you pay attention to me at all on Twitter, which why would you? Jeremy Rutherford was out in an area close to me, out in Arnold, but I'm still in South County, but just across the bridge for me. And he was at Pomodoros. It's a pickup Italian eatery, and he was there signing copies of his book and selling them. And so I thought, you know what? It's Friday. Let's get some lunch. That sounds good. So I went out and saw Jeremy, who, by the way, is one of, I mean, we say all the time, he's a friend of the show. He is an actual friend of the show. Like, he is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. So Jeremy and I just hung out, talked for a little while. And then this gentleman walked in and he started talking with us. His name was Mark Zira. Mark was one of the, again, nice guy, super nice guy. And I know I told you guys this story. So I wanted to buy a copy of the 100 Things Blues Fans Have to Know. God damn it. What's that? What's the full title? Hang on.
100 things Blues
100 Things Should Know and Do Before They Die. So I bought the original and had Jeremy sign it, but there's a new Stanley Cup edition that came out shortly after the Blues won the Cup.
Yeah, I have both.
So I had not bought this one because he had changed a couple of the stories out for like the Gunnarsson urinal story, a couple other things. So I still had not picked this one up. So I went out and got it, and then I went ahead and got, which we will be announcing soon how to do that. We've got 2 giveaways coming out. So he had the Bernie Federko book, and he had the this copy of this book as well. So I wanted to get 2 more so we could give them away on the show, signed by Jeremy himself. And so I told Jeremy, hey, I want to buy 3 of these. Mark was like, you and I have had a good conversation. Let me buy those for you. And I said, absolutely not. First of all, it's not even all for me. It's for me and it's for my podcast. I'm going to give these 2 away. And he could not have been nicer and was refusing for me to get my wallet out and pay. And he had given me some good wisdom and said basically that he's led such a good life that he wants to basically pass on that generosity that he's gotten over the years in any way he can. So I thought that was very cool. Again, refused to let me pay. And I told him to tune into the show. He said, you will be hearing from me. And I said, I damn well better. So hopefully, Mark, you're listening. And then also I want to call out his wife, New, N-U. She apparently owns Sport Nails and Hair in Arnold. So if you're in the Arnold area and you're looking for a place to get your hair and your nails done, go see New Zira over at Sport Nails and Hair. That's my last plug. So anyway,
nice.
Just wanted to share the story. I thought that was very nice of Mark, and hope he's listening.
And I would hope that you bought somebody's Taco Bell drive-thru when you were, hey, I got the guy behind me.
Well, I just showed up to Taco Bell and I said, tacos on me. No, I have not. I have not gone.
There's $3.
Literally. I mean, the only place I went to the Cardinal game on Sunday, and I'm not about to buy somebody's family of 4 food at the Cardinals game. Sorry, I'm not making that much money. Yeah. No. But no, next time I go to the grocery store or Starbucks or wherever, yes, I will be passing on that generosity. I thought that was very nice of him. Well, let's get to our official beers of episode number 314. Remember, you can follow each of us on the Untapped app. Kurt's at CPrice12. I'm JPonder94. Bill can be found at Billy Blue Note 33. So, Billy Blue Note, why don't you start us off?
All right. Going back to the old rotation. I like it. Mine's almost gone already. I've done a good job on this one, I think. I went with something entirely different tonight. Something that I promised Julie I'd clean out the beer clutter, and found this gem in there. The St. Bernardus ABT 12 Quadruple Abbey Ale. It is an amazing beer. Like, if you ever want to have a quad and you've never had a quad before, this will define them for you. It's great beer. Very heavy, 10% alcohol by volume. So it's not something that you want to try to pick up a bunch of and drink at the same time, unless you're really, really mad at yourself or really, really happy with yourself. This isn't a pound it kind of beer, but it's awesome. I'm enjoying this thoroughly, and trying to figure out what I'm going to follow it with.
It's odd that Bill's drinking a beer that's not a pounded variety, because Bill is a pounded type of man.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a
Great
dirty
pleasure.
joke in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Kurt.
My beer of the evening is Prairie Farms Blue Drank. Right there. I can hold it to the screen. It's a mason jar with some ice and basically blue raspberry snow cone juice that I am having. But before I have my beer, it's my pre.
I was going to
beer
say,
drink.
is there alcohol in there?
No,
Yeah.
ooh, that is pretty good.
I bet you put some rum in there. That would taste phenomenal.
Or
Should
some
put a
vodka?
half a
Vodka.
handle of I was gonna go with vodka, but
Vodka's
yeah.
good too.
Some vanilla, some the whipped vanilla vodka. Have you had that?
Ooh,
It's
yeah,
good. I think
that's
it's-
good.
It is really good stuff, and that would be
Yeah.
that sounds like it'd be goodness.
That's
So,
yeah.
yeah,
There you go. Give her a
I don't-
shot.
I don't have any of that here. I do have vodka, but it's way upstairs. I will
Next
not be
time
doing
you
that soon.
next time you go to the park and get that drink, you should just bring a fifth of vodka with you and just pour it
Should.
right into the glass,
Yeah.
right in front of the workers.
Yeah, I'd like a snow cone with no ice, please. just the cone, and
And put it
leave
in a
room
tall
for,
glass, because I'm putting a fifth of vodka in there.
yeah,
There's a tropical snow right outside the skating rink here in Troy.
there is,
And I'm sure that you wouldn't be the only person that
oh.
hour that did that.
I could bring some vodka up there and say, hey, give me some tiger's blood in a glass.
There you go.
Yes.
Tiger's
you
blood in a
go.
glass with some vodka. That sounds really good.
I think
Should
you
do
need to give it
that.
a shot.
Huh.
So my
Yeah.
beer of the episode is two St. Louis staples working together. So it's the Four Hands Brewing Company mixed with Soul Taco. See if I can get this right. There we go. Soul Taco is a great food truck that I've been to many times. I know Bill has too, but also just a great restaurant in general. They came together and made a lager. And it tastes pretty good. You know, I mean, most lagers are pretty easy to drink. This is definitely no exception. So wanted to support the two great St. Louis businesses we have here.
I got some comments in the YouTube chat. Speaking of Four Hands, Brandy Capone says, Four Hands has a bomb pop seltzer, and it is fantastic. I agree. You know what? I have had some seltzers in my day, and I don't like seltzers, but I have that, and I like that one. The bomb pop seltzer I enjoy. It's pretty good. Four Hands. Not had the tiger's blood one, though.
I still have not had one of the bomb pop seltzers. I will try to get my hands on some of that very soon.
So we
You have to go to the brewery, right?
You have to go to the brewery. Yeah.
So we do not have a Today in Blues History, courtesy of the @STL Blues History account. So stop
not?
the music. Nothing has happened ever on August 11th.
We were celebrating the Blues Stanley Cup Championship.
That was going to
August
be
11th,
we were.
2019.
We were.
So.
Maybe we were still celebrating a little too long, but I will tell you, Crappy Goalie will agree with me. He's got one of those, just like you have, Kurt, the Stanley Cup replica. He had one, and we took it all around St. Louis that summer. So I'm sure there was at least talk of bringing it somewhere that night 2 years ago.
That thing wasn't cheap, and I do not regret buying it at all.
I wouldn't
not a
either.
single day since I that was not a doubt in my mind. I was buying that as soon as it was when Shen scored. So
Yep.
Boom.
We had a lot of people drinking out of that thing. You think about the COVID rules now, that did not apply in 2019.
Brian Roberts in the YouTube chat says Mountain Dew is making a seltzer. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I love Mountain Dew. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll try anything.
Either Yeah, that was either on Fallon or Colbert last night, and
Okay.
I think it was on Fallon, and it's it definitely seems like something that Taco Bell should sell.
So this is typically. Oh, Billy or Kurt, you got a comment you want to read?
Dan Krause in the Facebook chat says, "Blue drank."
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. That's from Impractical Jokers, I believe. Something drank, blue drank. I think it's blue drank. They say that. If you've seen it on True TV, you ever seen it?
I have not.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm lame apparently.
I like it.
Yep. Usually this is where we take our break, folks, but we're actually going to move the only Blues story of the day up here because we know how important this is to Blues fans and how much they love this player. He's become quite the fan favorite here in St. Louis. The Blues did re-sign one player in the past week, and that was Zach motherfucking Sanford. He got a 1-year, $2 million contract. Last year in 52 games, he had 10 goals and 16 points. So this is a 1-year, definitely a prove-it deal in terms of Doug Armstrong. If you know how he operates, he becomes an unrestricted free agent next summer, pending a longer contract extension signed throughout the season. But definitely a prove it to me, and you'll be back next season kind of deal. But I think we all know at this point what he's going to prove. Now, it is a contract year, so you never know.
Well, last year was a contract year, too. But, I mean...
This is UFA. He could go on the free agent open market and make a lot of money contract year.
If he can get a lot of money somewhere.
I'm saying, look at Matt Bolesky. That's all I'm saying. Matt Bolesky had one good year in Anaheim, and then he signs with Boston for, what was it, $6 million? I mean, you never know.
If he has a great year this year and they don't sell him at the deadline this time, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, it depends on where they're at. If he has a great year and they're barnstorming the league, I know you don't like losing guys. We've lost a guy pretty much every summer for free the last couple of years. But, man, you gotta see what he can do at a playoff run.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we're tearing it up, we're up there, the handful of teams that could win a cup.
Sanford's got 45 goals.
I don't get rid of anybody unless you make a deal with, oh my gosh, we got a lot better. Yeah, I don't.
What if Ryan Miller becomes available?
I don't want to rehash the Ryan Miller trade, but I disagree with a lot of people that hated that trade at the time. I liked it. Didn't work out. I liked it at the time.
Yeah, I'd only make it again if it made us 6% better.
It didn't work out. He didn't play as well as we'd hoped, but it is what it is. I liked the deal at the time, but for a number of reasons, and I can back up and justify it. It wasn't just there was a number of things went into it, but we've talked about that before.
Yeah, I think we had a show after that happened, and we talked about it because we've been around since 2011, folks. Let me pump my tires. Mike Leon, who's double dipping, by the way, he's in the Facebook and YouTube chat. He says, so do the Blues have to do something to fit Robbie Thomas in the cap? Yes, probably, right? They only have 1.5 left.
No,
They're not going to pay him. What, do they not have anything left? What do they have left?
No. They have that's what they have left, but they don't. I mean, Sundqvist is going to start the year on the IR, right? So they'll have his money, and they don't. I mean, yes, they would ideally love to move Tarasenko before signing Thomas, but they don't have to. They don't have to do that. I know if they want to sign Bozak too, that's a different story. But I mean, they'll have room. Now they won't have room forever. They'll have to do something eventually. But especially if they sign him for like Cairo money. But people, what do you think he gets, Thomas?
Well, let me ask you in terms. How about in terms of year? How much do you think he's getting? Do you think they're ready to sign him long term, or do you think they're going to go another short deal?
I'm trying to think what Thomas would want to do too.
Well, he wants long term, I think. From what I understand, he's ready for a 7-8 year contract.
Yeah, well, I think I understand where the Blues would be coming from too if they decide they didn't want to do that. They want to do like a 2-year deal or something, because he's had some injury issues, and his play was inconsistent when he was playing last year. So, I honestly, I think a healthy Thomas and a healthy Kyrou, I think Thomas is the better player. I think Thomas is a guy who's a better all around player. But
I agree.
And Kyrou's money, I thought it was a lot for one season.
I thought the same thing.
I thought it was a little much. I was thinking he was in the $2 million ballpark. I thought 3 was.
You must have listened to last week's episode, or else we just have the exact same thoughts, because that's exactly what I said.
I had a number of discussions with people on Twitter about that too, and people were saying that Thomas, he might get $1.5 million, and I was like, "Geez, I think he's worth more than that."
No, he's definitely
the only thing holding him back is the injury issues that he had, where he was inconsistent last year. I think if he was healthy last year, he would have. He would have gotten 3 this season. I don't know, because he's been on the team longer. He's proven more. Don't get me wrong, Kyrou can be a very dynamic goal scorer, but he was streaky last year, and I think Thomas is the better all around guy. I think the setup guy. I think he's been there. He was on a cup team. I think he's
right.
He's worth more. Healthy.
I think Thomas definitely has the higher topside potential. I mean, Kyrou is blazing speed, but he's much more one-dimensional, whereas Thomas mixes a lot of different variables. And when he's on top of his game, he does it very well. The problem has been, the wrist injuries, going back to the 2019 run. I mean, he was hurt quite a bit, but he also played a huge part in that. He was the key to Pat Maroon, scoring the Game 7 winner against Dallas, right? Yep. And so if he would have put together a couple of seasons since then that delivered more of those moments, he'd be, we would have been, moving other players. But at this point, it's like, he probably has to get on a short-term not necessarily a prove it deal, but short-term bridge deal until he can show that he's consistent and that he can have some kind of resilience and get through a season at least not injured.
I think he's a 60 65 point guy if he's healthy, plays the whole season. I think he's that kind of a guy right now. I think he could have a 60-point season if he stays healthy. Because he was looking at, he had 33 points in his first season, 70 games, 42 in his second season, which was 66 games, which was fantastic. And then last year he was hurt and inconsistent, but hopefully if he's healthy, he hits that 60 plus. So I think he gets there, and I think if they can get him for under $2 million, that's fine. But I don't know. Well, we'll see.
Sorry, Bill's making inappropriate jokes to just Kurt and I. There was the joke from earlier. That's what I was looking for. F117 Nighthawk says, I agree with Bill, which that might be the first time that a woman has ever agreed with Bill Day. I feel like we hear Kyrou's name more because when he makes the play, it's big. But Thomas I cannot read tonight. But Thomas is consistent, sets up plays, and hasn't reached his potential. A lot more upside with Thomas. 69-point season if he is healthy. Bet on it. So there, mark the tape, folks. Nighthawk says 69-point season for Thomas. Interesting number to choose, by the way.
That's about, I said 60, 65. That's almost where I'm at. So I agree with her.
Nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And actually, it'd probably be in Thomas's best interest to do a short-term deal and stay healthy, because he could probably get more money that way.
I thought you were going to say it might be in Tom's best interest to play well.
Well, that goes without saying.
That's the kind of commentary you get here at Let's Go Blues Radio, folks.
Well, it hasn't seemed to hurt Sanford, so
that's true. Oh man, Zach
not
Sanford
playing well. That is
over under this year, 40 points.
Under.
I'll take the under.
I'm gonna go. He's a 100-point scorer this season, folks. I'm going way over.
Is that
Double
your burner
it.
account? The trolling on
Cut it
Twitter?
in half and double it. No, I agree under, but it would be impressive to see. And again, I think that's one player that if you have a good season and you let him walk at the end of the year, it's okay because
So you said
he's going to
40
require
points, right?
big money. No one's going to take it.
He's his best season is 30 points.
Yeah.
Granted, he hasn't played a full season.
Right.
That was a 58-game season. So
He was damn
And he had-
close to playing a full season last year. 56 games, he played in 52 of them.
and he had 16 points.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
He was given a lot of opportunity last year. That's why I stopped being a Sanford apologist, because
But he's
he
not
was
that
given-
guy.
he was given every opportunity to step up, whether it's penalty killing, whether it's regular or even strength, playoffs, a guy who could step up for you. He didn't run with it at all. And that's why I
Wasn't
finally
it-
said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. He's not the player I thought he was.
Wasn't it like 3 games in a row later in the season? He was on the ice to kill a penalty, and one time he was out there, wasn't his fault, but he was on the ice for it, and 2 times it was his man that it was a sequence that he was directly involved in. That he one time was it 2 times he couldn't clear, didn't clear it, and they scored, or another time he didn't clear it, but it was his man. It's just, it was awful. I think it was 3 games in a row late in the season. Just it's like the cherry on top for all those Sanford haters. Like, God damn it!
Well, and that was that was what turned me around. I think it was the 3rd game that you mentioned where he literally, I remember he spun to like knock the puck out, and he got on his knees, which was fine. It happens, but instead of going up the boards, he tried to shoot it up the center, and there was 2 defensemen right there at the blue line that just stopped him. And I'm like, what are you doing? Go to the other side, man. Like, always go boards. What are you doing? So yeah, just, that was when I gave up. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. Sorry, Zach. You're on your own. Well, folks, we will be back in just about a minute. And
Jingleheimer Jiffy.
we will be talking about one of our favorite games of all time. You'll be watching it with us. This is going to be a lot of fun for you podcasting. You'll at least be able to hear it. But yeah, here we go. We're going to go in just a little bit. But first, a word from our friends over at rockinthatidlife.com. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Put that energy drink down. Don't you know that common energy drinks contain high levels of caffeine and other harmful ingredients that can lead to increased blood pressure and heart rhythm disturbances? Finding that energy you need for everyday activities doesn't need to put your health at risk. ID Life's energy formula doesn't use artificial ingredients or a massive dose of caffeine. Energy's caffeine levels are released slowly over time, allowing for longer periods of energy without crash, not to mention keeping your heart safe. Energy also includes neurotransmitters for mood, focus, memory, and cognitive function. ID Life also added antioxidants associated with brain health for no reason besides perfection. With rockinthatidlife.com, you can get an energy boost and leave the heart risk behind. Text Dustin at 636-393-8745 or visit rockinthatidlife.com and throw those gas station energy drinks in the garbage. That's 636-393-8745 and rockinthatidlife.com and tell Dustin that Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. All right, folks, we are back, and we're going to be doing a little mystery hockey theater. Here comes Cheveldae. which is the great line from Ken Wilson in this game. Red Wings at Blues, January 23rd, 1993, the night the goalies brawled in St. Louis, as STL Today has coined it. Little side notes on this game. This was obviously in the old arena, the old barn. 18,104 in attendance for this game, which I believe was a sellout. I don't know if you guys know offhand, but I'm pretty sure that was a sellout, the old arena. Many fights in this game, which, like I said earlier, we will get to right away. So, guys, here we go. We're at opening. We're at the center ice for opening face-off. And if you had not seen this last time, we're not going to do the whole game, but we're going to hit every highlight. And we're definitely going to hit a lot of stuff in between. So make sure you tune in for this. This is going to be a lot of fun.
So we get, I mean, it's right off the bat here, the first minute of the game.
Right.
I think it's 46 seconds in.
Yeah,
and
I
just
was
all
worried
hell
Jeff
breaks
wasn't getting
loose.
through the intro.
Yeah.
I was at the Elks Lodge. I think I was a bus boy at this time, or maybe I was a waiter. Trying to remember. And yeah, I was watching this in the lobby, in the lounge, on the big screen, and not working.
Yeah, this is, for me, this was when I was 7. So, yeah, for me, it was sitting at home. I actually don't remember the first time I saw this. I remember watching it as a kid and my dad showing me, and I think he had it, well, obviously we had it recorded. And because this is where this comes from. This is from my old VHS tape. Actually, you know what? This is a rebroadcast. They rebroadcasted this with commentary from Bernie Federko. I want to say it was the first lockout, 04. And here they go. Here's the fight with Kelly Chase. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. Coming up, though. And Curtis Joseph's already looking ridiculous.
I love Joseph so much.
Dude, that guy.
It's so much fun to watch.
And you just see Probert and Chase just jawing the whole time.
They're already sparring.
And this is where it is here. Jim Cummins comes in to defend his teammate, and Kelly Chase says, no, boy, that ain't how this works. And they square off.
The good old days.
Say, I can turn this up a little bit. Because this is obviously the part we're here for. Chase just...
And I was going to say, may have been the only time Chase had gotten below his own goal line at this point in his career.
Ken Wilson with always a good fight call from Ken Wilson. I always thought he did a great job.
Yeah. I mean, bias as hell, but no, it was good. He called him blow by blow.
Oh, so this is the beauty here in this clip, folks, is that they're done. They're in the corner. The referees or the linesmen are skating them off. They go to a replay here and then just listen to Ken Wilson. Yeah, because on TV you can't tell.
Yeah, Probert and Lowry. Zombo. Look at the view from behind Joseph is awesome. He's like watching this develop.
Bobby Basson jumping in there.
Here he is.
And this is exactly what a goalie is supposed to do.
Yep.
And you know, people just like they were criticizing Bennington for coming out. This is what you do.
And Cummins came out of the penalty box as well.
Yeah, Cummins came out of the penalty box when this all started.
Yeah. What kind of suspension did he get for it? It was pretty significant, I thought.
I thought it was an automatic 10 game.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's funny, things like that would be an automatic.
Listen to the
suspension.
crowd.
Oh, it's crazy.
I mean,
but if you take out somebody's head with an elbow, like at 4 or 5 games, 6 games.
Yeah, this is what hockey was for me growing up, and the old Rodney Dangerfield line. I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. This is it.
Okay, and neither
Look at
neither
the
goalie.
gloves and the sticks on the ice.
That was commonplace. Those brawls, sticks and gloves all over the ice. I loved it so much. And I don't know. You watch these old games and you wish that it still had this kind of energy.
So this is going to go on for a little while. We're going to have a little break here because obviously the referees need to sort everything out. So real quick, let's do a quick rundown. I'm sorry, it was 54 seconds into the game. You get game misconducts to Dave Lowry, Jim Cummins, Bob Probert, Kelly Chase, and Rick Zombo. Fighting penalties to Dave Lowry, Bob Probert, Jim Cummins, and Kelly Chase. Leaving the player's bench, Jim Cummins. That's another 10 minutes there. Tim Cheveldae gets goalie leaving the crease. That's also what Curtis Joseph got. And so there was just a gluttony of penalties there. And I read a quote from Dan Murawelli, who was the referee here. I think it might have been his boss that quoted and said, basically he felt that Cheveldae and Joseph, because they should have been thrown out of this game. That's why you hear Ken Wilson say, here comes Cheveldae. He'll be thrown out of the game.
Out of the game.
Because he should have been, and so should have Joseph.
Yeah.
But I guess Murawelli just decided that he didn't want to do it. He said that basically, in his eyes, they basically were roughing each other, which that was a fight. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that was a fight.
Right.
Do you know who the backup goalies were in this game if they had gotten thrown out?
Jeff Sargent and Vincent Riendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jeff Sargent. And you know why Sargent was the backup in this game?
Because
he had never played. He hadn't played a minute in the NHL at this point.
Because Guy Bear was the backup. He got hurt last minute.
He was hurt.
An emergency call-up.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Can you imagine being an emergency call-up and having to come in this game 54 seconds in?
Did you? Aber was quoted in this game after this. He was watching, on television from the dressing room. He said, "I'm proud." He was flailing away, saying, "Get him, get him, get him." He makes $1 million.
That's one of the best lines. Because at that time, the duo of Joseph and Aber were making $250,000 and $225,000. That was quite the goaltending duo the Blues had.
Yeah.
And for that money, hell yeah.
Get him. He makes $1 million. Get him. So funny.
Yeah.
So they're going to break here.
To your point, Jeff, about the goalie tandem, that was great. And of course, we lost Aber to the Ducks in the expansion draft. We see here, this is how it all starts. In a minute here, and I'm just going to go ahead and say, especially for our podcast listeners, one of my favorite things ever as a Blues fan is when they have a close-up here, and keep in mind, this is not an HD. This is your standard definition. They have a close-up of Cheveldae with his mask on right after I think they get done with this clip here. And you can see his black eye. Like, it's already formed. It's already swollen. And, and then I read the gamer that Dave Luking did for St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And I don't recall him saying this, but apparently he even said he had trouble seeing the whole game. He couldn't see passes across the crease. It's like, yeah, you had a welt on the side of your face. Joseph got him good.
Cheveldae was said after the game. He said Joseph had talked to Cheveldae, and Joseph told the newspaper that Cheveldae said, "Well, we had 5. You guys had 5 guys against our 4." And Joseph said, "So you can't blame him for going out there and helping out his team." That's exactly what you do. And then you don't blame Joseph for going out there, because when Cheveldae goes out there, Joseph goes out there. That's the way it works, kids.
When you see a jackass, stupid motherfucker like Philip Grubauer starting shit, with somebody in front of the net, Jordan Binnington damn well better skate his ass down there.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I
in the
want in a
skirmish,
goalie.
when the goalie gets involved in a skirmish, it's the other goalie's job to come on down. Yeah, that's the way it works. That's exactly the way it works. And people who get outraged, for Bennington doing that, that's a goalie's job, people.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. Sorry, I was taking in the goaltending equipment at the time. Curtis Joseph rocking the Heaton Helite 3s. God, I wanted those so badly. And I actually had, I have, still to this day, I have Guy Hebert's Heaton Helite 2s that he wore when he first got called up to the Blues.
Yep.
That was the last pair of goal pads that I wore in competitive hockey, hanging up in my garage. But yeah, just that getup that Curtis Joseph wore during this time frame was amazing, and the Elliott throwback to him.
Yeah, those were
Chef's
beauties.
kiss.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of Hebert, there's my cousin. We went to Blues training camp back when it was at the Brentwood ice rink, back in probably 93 or probably about this time, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my cousin took his goalie Trapper to the rink to maybe get an autograph or two, which is weird because he was not a Blues fan, but whatever. And so he took it there, and afterwards, after practice, Hebert came into the lobby, signed some autographs with some fans there, and my cousin asked him if he would sign his glove, and he did, and then he asked him if he'd try it on. So he's just showered and comes out in the lobby, and he's like, so he actually agreed to put on this stinky Trapper in his hand, and Jeff threw him a puck, and he caught it with his glove, and that was kind of cool,
That's
so,
awesome.
Kind of neat stuff. Now, Hebert, such a gracious guy. He was such a nice guy.
Oh, all recaps I've heard from Ducks fans who see him at their like reunion events, because they do like the original team reunions every 5 years or so. They always talk about how Guy Hebert just sits there and talks to anybody about hockey. Anybody who wants to sit and talk to him will talk. He'll just sit there and talk. And I love that in a hockey player. By the way, folks, they are just now restarting play. For those of you on the podcast, this is how long it took them to recap. To figure out what to call, to explain it to the other teams, to get everybody situated to get back. That was a good, 10 minutes at least, 10 to 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And that's the way it was back in the day, and we liked it.
And
Miller.
Thinking of
Miller.
the Dana Carvey character?
Yeah. The grumpy old man.
Oh,
Yeah.
grumpy old man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it was, and we liked it.
Look at Hull on the point there.
Blues on the
Nice.
power play here. You got Brett Hull, Brendan Shanahan, Craig Janney, all out there at the same time. There's a Miller with the fourth.
Kevin
forward,
Miller was out there. Yeah.
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 Who's on D?
Craig
Is that,
Janney's
that's
heyday.
Bozak.
Brett
That's
Hedican.
Okay.
Brett Hedican
Nice.
on the
Brett
point.
Hedican.
Current broadcaster, Brett Hedican. Future friend of the show, if you ask me. But we should get him on and talk about this game. I'm sure he remembers it well. No, I was going to add real quick. I should have said this before the fight started, but I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to get to it. A lot of that animosity carried over from, this was game 2 of a home-and-home series. Excuse me, the Blues played in Detroit 2 nights prior, and they lost the game 5-3. It was a rough third period in that game. There was 44 penalty minutes handed out, including 2 game misconducts, which went to Lee Norwood and Sheldon Kennedy. Lee Norwood, of course, being the Blue, and a fight between, I look at the names on who this fight was between, and I say, you could have given me the rundown of both rosters, and these are 2 of the last players I would have picked to have been in that fight. Ron Sutter and Steve Yzerman.
I'm just looking at the names out there now, too. Nelson Emerson, Bozon, Rich Sutter, Ron Sutter. Philippe Bozon.
Ron Wilson.
Wilson, yeah. Man. And it's funny because you see, I see these. Quintal, I see these numbers with these jerseys, and it's been so long. It's been almost 30 years, but I instantly know who they are. I'm just like, I don't have to, because you can't read the fucking names because it's a terrible. It's a VHS from SD TV 30 years ago. But,
the beauty of this game,
Garth
too,
Butcher.
folks, as opposed to the one that we did earlier on summer, is that we have goals to talk about here too. This isn't a 1-0 final, so we will have plenty of goals to discuss here too. So if you're wanting some goals, you'll see them.
On Hockey Reference. Quintal always looked like a I don't know, a little goofy. It's like the helmet, the Cooper helmet that he wore, the same one that Messier wore, right? Just and he just had a goofy looking. He's a goofy looking guy.
So there was 2 coaches this season, guys. I don't know. You just saw who the Blues coach was, right? No. Do you remember who the coach is? Who's the coach right here?
Bob Berry.
Bob Berry. I don't remember that. Again, I was young. I was 8. Do you remember who started the season as head coach?
Is it Plager?
Bobby Plager.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. That's what I love about Blues history, and that's what's, again, I not to get into this, but just so devastating about what happened this past season is his name is everywhere when you look at Blues history. It's
he's been
who was the coach this game? Yeah, who was the coach this game? Who was the guy that was on the ice for this fight? Who was the scout that found this player? I mean, he is all over, and the Blues score.
We have a goal.
After Rich Sutter, I think it was Rich Sutter, missed the chance in front. There's that guy in the hooded sweatshirt with the glasses. The guy in the blue, at the time the away Blues jerseys, the sweatshirt and the glasses with the beard. The camera would always hit on him on home games to celebrate goals. As that guy.
So
he
was
rewind it here, but
what became the attractive girl in the crowd in the late 90s.
he was in the right. A season ticket holder in the right spot at the right time. Yeah, and was it no?
Look at where Brett Hall's at on that goal. That's what I mean. The puck just bounces in front. Again, for you podcasters, and then it bounces into the corner, like not the corner, the right, I guess the right face-off circle, and there's players in front. But Hall can read, and you know he does when you look at how many goals he scored in his career. He reads where that puck is going to bounce and where it's going to drop, and where he just needs to one-time it. And he backs up, boom, puts it right in the net.
Yeah. The left face-off circle for those.
I'm sorry, left face-off circle. My God, the way that he read the play, you look at Alex Ovechkin, that's the only guy I can compare it to.
Yeah,
I love the Emerson, Janney, Shanahan Hall. That was fun stuff.
Yeah.
Should have been
your younger brother's favorite player of all time, right? Nelson Emerson.
Nelson Emerson, yeah.
Greg. Well, all your brothers are younger than me. I don't know. I try to make that distinction. That's pretty dumb on my part.
Right.
One of my favorite players of all time, unfortunately, being a longtime Red Wing on the ice in this game, Nicholas Lidstrom.
Right, and he was the one that turned the puck over on the whole goal.
Yeah.
What? He never did
was
that.
A rookie.
He never turned the puck over.
The perfect human. That's quite the nickname.
Was it 4 Norris trophies he won? What did he win? 3, 4?
I thought it was 6.
Oh, was it more? Okay.
I think it was. I was either 3 or 4 in a row.
That's what it was. That's what I'm thinking of.
I'll look real quick. Joseph has and I'm going to spoil it here for you folks watching this for the first time. Joseph has a ridiculous game, so make sure you keep your eye on the Blues goaltender.
Well, he saved 39 out of 42.
You just said how many goals the Red Wings score. You ruined it.
It's a 30-year-old game, guys.
He won 7 Norrises.
7. Okay, but it was 3 or 4 in a row, right?
Yeah. So
that's probably what I was thinking of.
He won 3 in a row. He won
Okay.
2 in a row, and then he won 3 in a row. That sounds silly. 2 separate times. He won 2 in a row, and then he won 3 in a row later in his career. And the Red Wings
I
score.
remember that goal. I remember that goal going in.
Sheldon Kennedy.
It was a wasn't he involved in like a scandal?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was.
Was the abuse scandal?
He was one of the victims.
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
Sexual abuse scandal.
Oh,
That's what I thought.
Well,
he was.
never mind. I'll take back what I
Graham.
said.
God, what was the guy's name? Graham something or another.
Cracker.
But yeah,
Wasn't
he was a
in,
cracker. But
wasn't he in was it when he was at Pittsburgh?
I mean, it was when he was in junior.
He never played. He never played for Pittsburgh. Okay, so that was.
No. He
okay.
the whole abuse scandal was when he was in junior.
Yes. Right.
Who is that dropped on the ice there? Kirk Giles.
Oh yeah.
Woo! That was a terrible play. I don't know what he was doing there. Number 2. His number is now retired, Kirk Giles.
Kurt Giles.
Giles. Kurt Giles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm thinking of Guile from
North Star.
I'm thinking of Guile from Street Fighter.
Yeah, I don't recall. I don't remember him playing for Detroit. I remember him as a North Star.
I remember him as a Blue.
Yeah, well, for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. He wore number 2 prior to Scott Stevens, right? That was
Yeah, I think so.
And again, just Hall finding the open ice. God, he was so much fun. He was so much fun to watch. Talk about. There's talk this week. We'll give him credit.
Hold on.
Blues Hockey Podcast. What? Go ahead.
Kurt Giles he never played for Detroit.
No, he was in this game for the Blues, right?
Yeah.
I thought you said he was
So
playing
this
for Detroit at one time. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
No, he's a Blue
Yeah,
right here.
so this is actually after, because this is after Stevens has already gone to the Blues. So he preceded,
What?
succeeded Stevens wearing number 2.
So
Look at that
what?
pass.
We're
They,
making
They gave away 2 to Kurt Giles after Stevens had it? What? Did Stevens okay that?
did they ask Stevens?
Did they ask Stevens first?
We probably would have had to given New Jersey a draft pick if we.
Yeah.
You know,
Look at Emerson.
Nelson. You mentioned Emerson. He used to pull that little spin move and dip his shoulder and go on his backhand. I loved the way he skated the puck. He was a fun guy to watch.
Yeah, he was kind of hyped up coming out of Bowling Green and going to the Rivermen. Hyped up as the next generation of Blue, and he had a nice promising start, but I don't know, similar kind of player. It seemed to today. It seems to be Robert Thomas. Again, I think Thomas has a much higher upside, but man.
I should mention, I'm looking, we've got watchers right now, a lot of live watchers, which of course we appreciate you guys joining. Not a lot of comments. So that tells me everybody is enjoying. Yeah, they're enjoying watching the game. Yeah. And this is fun stuff.
This era, this is my favorite era of Blues of NHL hockey right here.
Yeah,
early 90s.
Too.
And yeah, so Stefan Quintal, I love the way that Ken Wilson pronounced it. It was Quintal. Stefan Quintal.
Kind of like Pierre Turgeon. He said Turgeon.
Mike Leon in the YouTube chat says, hot take here, but the Blues recently asked what the best jerseys are. I think these are it, the home whites of the early 90s. I'm not going to disagree with you a whole lot there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the
Fix the tracking. Fix the
tracking.
tracking.
Sorry.
Yeah, fix the tracking.
Yeah, it does this a little bit from time to time. Don't worry, folks. It gets better.
It just adds to the whole time period.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this jersey, probably aside from the heritage, the blue throwbacks, the Winter Classic style, this is it for me. I love this jersey.
Yeah. I'm hoping that this is what they come out with for the Winter Classic, but
Word is it's going to be a
tells
white
me-
version of the blue.
Right.
From the last Winter Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
the,
mean, I'm
the
fine
power
with
blue.
that. Yeah, I'm fine
Yeah.
with that, I guess, because they wore that basically for the alumni
And
game.
It would have it'd have the stripes on the shoulders.
Yeah, and it's a
That
great
one.
look. I love it,
It
and I'm
is.
fine with that. But yes, there has been no mention of this jersey. This era of blue. I don't understand it because we talked
Right.
about it a
No,
couple weeks ago.
this-
Somebody said that the Brett Hull style era jerseys, and they were talking about the clown jerseys. That's
this is
not
so
the
stupid.
Brett Hull era. This is
That
the
was
Brett
when
Hull
Navy
era.
This is it.
That was-
This
Yeah.
is
This is-
pinnacle blues hockey right here.
This
Right.
exactly.
This-
This is the Brett Hull
Right.
jersey.
Right. This to
That
me, this will always be the greatest era of blues jerseys. And bar none.
If I ever decide to get a Brett Hull jersey, it will be this jersey style here. It'll be this one.
I
No
have
doubt in
this
my
jersey.
mind.
I have the jersey. There's no name on
This
the
is-
back. I should get.
I have
a
one.
number.
I've got a Joseph, but that's it. If I
Oh,
ever get a Hull
see,
one,
that's-
I'm gonna get that.
That's one. That's like that's one that I want. I want the Joseph with a 75 patch on it.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
That's what I
I
want.
should see if I can find that 75 patch. That's a good
Joseph
idea.
Hull or Shanahan with a 75 patch on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
thinking Kurt Giles, Jeff Sargent.
I would do. See, I would want Oates with that patch or Joseph.
Jimmy Carson playing for the Wings.
What a save there.
Yeah.
Fedorov.
Pass across the blue line. And Fedorov, Yzerman. I mean, this Red Wings power play. This is the beginning of that Red Wings dynasty before they really got all the pieces they needed. But man, these passes here. I mean,
Well,
that
Cicerelli
was
was
Jimmy Carson with the shot.
No, I know, but Cicerelli
Yeah.
was in front, and he was like the quietest 600 goal guy in history
Oh,
as
Yeah.
far as goals go.
Got-
Every
he
goal he
was-
scores is like
I mean,
5 feet of the net.
He was lethal for the North Stars. Like, people don't remember him a whole lot before he moved to Detroit, but he had 10 years in Minnesota and was just an absolute sniper. And yeah, you put him on this stacked Detroit team. I mean, this is the last year where Fedorov scores coming out of the corner. But this is the last year. Like, the next year is when the flood of the rest of, the Russian five came into this team and
Yeah.
turned them into something completely different. But
Both goals against Joseph here have not been great goals against. I mean,
no, they haven't.
He didn't play the first one very well, and this one, that's a leaker. He shouldn't have.
Well, and let's face it too. I mean, Fedorov's all alone coming out of the corner. He's got no
yeah, but he's
challenging him.
Right.
but he's got nothing to shoot at either, so he shouldn't have scored here.
right, I mean, it's a 5-on-3 or a 5-on-4, and Garth Butcher overcommits to the corner, as Garth Butcher is wont to do.
Yeah,
yeah.
I question what Butcher was thinking on that play. But yeah, I agree, Kurt. There was definitely holes there that should not have been there.
Mike Leon in the YouTube chat says, Cicerelli, I can't believe I shake that guy's freaking hand.
Oh, no.
Epic quote. Love it.
Mark
That's
Howe.
beautiful.
You know what game we should do? The as an option for a future mystery hockey theater, the St. Patrick's Day Massacre in Chicago.
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be fun.
Oh yeah,
We'll need to find the tape of that. I'll have to ask our friend STL Blues History. I think he might actually have it. That'd be a lot of fun.
And now, which the St. Louis call or the Chicago call? Because
I don't know.
If you look, the Chicago call is pretty good, but it's funny how the Stevens and the The Stevens and Manson fight is called differently between the two versions. Both are on YouTube, and they're both drastically different.
Yeah. Pat Foley calling that for the Blackhawks.
Pat Foley, and you could, the bias for both sides is pretty evident, even though Stevens probably lost that fight. So.
All right, we are going to take our break here, folks. We'll be right back with some more coverage, and hope you're enjoying this, so be sure to stay tuned, as we'll have more coming for you.
Center Ice Brewery is St. Louis's only hockey-themed brewhouse. Stop on in during the next game to experience the ultimate hockey fan brewery while sampling various hockey-inspired beers, such as Old Arena Lager, the Beauty IPA, the Rotating Pale Ale Series, or seasonal offerings such as their Imperial Stout, their Lime Sherbet Sour, and much more. While you're there enjoying any number of their fantastic beverages, you can admire the bar top and tables made of authentic arena wood and the actual penalty box door from the old barn. Located at 3126 Olive Street in Midtown St. Louis, it's one of the best places to watch a Blues game, or any game. Visit CenterIceBrewery.com today to schedule a no-contact curbside pickup or make a reservation in the tap room. Center Ice Brewery. Let's go Blues! Please drink responsibly.
So we want to come back here and say, unfortunately, there was some footage missing from my VHS tape. So 8-year-old Jeff apologizes. Brett Hall did score late in that period in 1902 to tie this game at 2-2. So we're going to pick up here at the start of the second period.
We can't do the whole game anyway. So
tell 8-year-old Jeff to go clean up his room.
My mother, Mary Woodruff Ponder, who often watches the show live, she would agree with you. Can't tell you how many times I heard that as a kid.
Mike Leon says, really enjoying this. Phenomenal content. I miss hockey. Thanks, Mike. We have fun doing this. It's a lot of fun.
This is honestly, for me, one of the funnest things we do. So that's why I said this the last time we did this. Please let us know if this is fun for you, because we will do this a lot more if everybody else, if our listeners enjoy it, because I know the three of us love doing this.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate the equipment from this era more than anything else. Not just the goaltenders, but fuck.
Whoa, look out. Whoa, I'm having a seizure.
Yeah,
there we go.
Again, tracking. Come on, it's tracking.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, nice.
Is that an aluminum Easton?
Is the gold one?
It is.
Wow,
Put it into my C-League.
Get your lamp.
Put it into my C-League fan.
Who's that signed by?
I can't get it to the right angle, but it's Brendan Shannon.
Shannon? I was going to say, I thought 19, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's from this era. I just saw somebody wearing. I've had a little bit too much tonight. Somebody using the stick, and it may have been Shanahan. It may have been this exact stick. But out of all of the equipment, like, this was the era that I went to the Blues. Not that I got this from the equipment sale, but this was the era that I went to the equipment sale and got stuff.
I had that stick. But mine was silver with the blueprint. Not gold with the. Was it golden? What is it? Golden.
This is gold with blue.
Gold with blue? Okay. Mine was silver.
Out of town scoreboard, folks. Chicago did beat Hartford, just in case you were all wondering. And Buffalo is tied with Quebec in the third period.
Philadelphia trailing by a goal in the second at the Island, and we'll have the rest.
This was the era with Rich and Ron Sutter. They had their full names on the back of their jerseys.
Right.
And I always hated that. Because, well, you know what? I always hated it because I'm like, you've got the numbers on there to differentiate. Why do you need the full name too? That would never happen today. It's just last name with a number to differentiate.
Yeah, I think, did the Sedins even have the D and H on their jerseys? Didn't they just have the different numbers?
I don't think they did. That's a good question.
I've had a lot of beer since then, so I don't remember.
Since they retired, or?
Yes.
It's funny. I love looking at the. I've got the Super Chucks bubble hockey here that I got over the pandemic, and I want to customize. It's already customized, but I want to customize it some more with this era Blues jersey players, and I want to put these ads on the boards.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I want the shop and save, McDonald's,
save, yeah.
KMOX behind the goal, the KC95,
Sports Authority,
the Good Sports Authority, and the Good Sports one. What was it called? Something Good Sports. And there's actually, believe it or not, there's a website that has different era ads, that like a breakdown of the different ads on all the boards and all the arenas from different eras.
Busch
so it's
beer.
Bellman, Brooklyn, and Bommarito GMC. That's in the corner. Busch.
Yeah.
Busch Light was right next to Busch.
At this point, I had worked for Shop and Save. I was a cart schlepper for Shop and Save for the summer prior to this.
And they score. Mark Howe scores a big goal and make it 3-2.
Yeah, have your head on a swivel, kids. This was a defenseman forgetting that there was a player behind him, and he just snuck him in the point and just wide open. This was terrible. Watch him. He just completely it's Quintal, right? Quintal just doesn't really. There he goes.
No,
where you going?
Quintal gets drawn to Fedorov.
Yeah, but why are you going over there?
Well, they're getting drawn to Fedorov. That's the play that the Red Wings set up. Draw the defenseman to Fedorov and then open up the guy on the far side.
Giles and Quintal are both way over there. Terrible. Awful.
Oh, I'm not arguing. It's just that's a design play, I think, by the Red Wings.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And it's centered around they've got this dumb guy on defense right now.
Blues will bring the puck to center ice. They lose it. Burr over the line. Go on. Good
Is it?
Shoots it wide.
3-2. 3-2 Red Wings.
I always love when Ken Wilson would accidentally go falsetto. He'd go, and a shot from the point, and just goes wide. Friend of the show, Ken Wilson.
Yeah, Vladimir Konstantinov sighting.
Jason Miller says, I think the Sedins had the first initial.
Oh, maybe they did. Okay.
I want to say, I think he's right.
Pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
You know who didn't? And it's obvious why. The Bens. That's who I was thinking of. Jamie and Jordy Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had nothing to differentiate except the number.
Off the glass, here's Racine. Both teams are changing. Young Yves Racine to his own line.
Yves Racine.
The puck goes to Butcher. He feeds it ahead, tipped in by Brett Hall.
Just these names, and hearing Ken Wilson do the call, it's just, man.
It takes you back, doesn't it?
So great.
Yeah. I was super excited when Yves Racine went to Montreal, but that was really the beginning of the end for Montreal.
There's Chase and Hall on the same line here.
Well, Chase is a setup man.
Chase had some hands in practice. He could play, man.
Just like Cam Jansen. I always heard Cam Jansen was ridiculous.
Oh, here we go.
Hall on a breakaway, and he does not score. That would have been a hat trick bid.
Did you see what happened there? He shot high, hit the glass, came back, hit the top of the goal, came in front again.
You know what it is? I just realized why Brett Hall's out there with Chase and Basson. Because of the game misconduct handed out to Dave Lowry.
Yep.
I think Lowry was originally on this line. So then they just said, well, let's just put Hall out there for that checking line. Why not?
At the right point, McCrimmon can't keep the puck in. He plays it at center ice to Howe. His pass hits Rich Sutter. The puck in the air. Knocked ahead and back into the blue zone. Here's Henneken. He hits Ron Wilson with a
Mike Leon says Mike Leon and Jeff Ponder would have covered that guy. Go the metal. Leon, a friend of mine, actual friend of mine. Woo, what a save!
What a save!
Oh baby, what a save!
We got no baby from Wilson.
We always joke that. So one time we were brought in right before the playoffs as the quote unquote ringers for our team we play on called the Metal, and we ended up winning the championship that year. So we always, let's face it, we were the reason we won. I know Leon agrees.
Mike Leon said, "Oh, here's the chance here by Hull." And it comes in front. Did they show it? They didn't show it.
Nope.
Mike Leon said, Ken Wilson is my goddamn hero, maybe the biggest hero ever.
So
has
we
Mike
are.
Leon heard the Ken Wilson interview that you did?
We are. Yes, he has. We're about. We're going to move ahead here. 13 minutes into the second period. So we've moved ahead in action here. That away again. So we're not doing a 2-hour show just covering this game. But yes, Leon did say when I told him that I got Ken Wilson, he was ecstatic, just like I was. That to me was one of the most awesome things. That I mean, I hate to say it because it makes me sound like such a fanboy, but I put it right there with Grant Fuhr and Bernie Federko. That was a huge moment for me to have him on the show.
That was very cool. That was, I mean, very cool is just the word for it. It's just neat. You know what? The probably one of the more underrated ones was Zipper Zeppa.
Oh,
as far
that was
as
great.
like just a name, a name. It's a blast from the past in St. Louis sports, broadcasting history, the sports anchor desk. Getting Zipper Zeppa was cool. That was neat.
Yeah. That was your idea. I remember you told me I should reach out and get him. And I'm like, hell yeah, that was great.
Yeah. I was like, I love Zip. Man,
oh, he was the best.
He pioneered the bloopers stuff at the end of the sportscast once a week.
You know what I wish we had? I wish we had his 10 o'clock broadcast recap of this game.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be so cool to hear.
I'm sure that stuff's lost to the archives.
Oh, it definitely is.
Probably not in the archives. Probably
look at the
over.
Denny Savard spinorama by Hull.
Right point to Emerson, back to Hull. Far circle, Janney. Back to Emerson.
Mike Leon says, yes, this is true. I know he does. I listen to every episode. I'm OCD, LOL. Yeah, he is. I remember one time he came up to me. It was about 2 weeks after our 300th episode. And he came up to me on the bench. And he goes, you know, I'm OCD. I love to listen to every part of every episode. And he's like, I'm about 3 hours in on the 300th episode. There's a lot more left. I was like, yep, sorry, buddy.
Put it in!
Yeah, so many chances.
Oh, my God. That's more chances than Blues getting the entire game on the
it
power
wasn't
play.
just like pass, come on, shoot.
Nice.
There it is, they score. It was just they kept shooting and they couldn't get it in the net, and then it leaves the zone. They bring it back in, boom, they score a goal.
I like Kevin Miller.
So Kevin Miller gets the goal here, makes it 4-3 for the Blues.
I thought it was 3-3.
No, this makes it 4-3.
All right.
Look at that. I mean, that's just a beaut. I mean, look at... So Craig Janney skates it in. I mean, as a defenseman, and Bill would agree if he were here. Apparently he left, and then I look.
He had a dog thing to take care of.
Yeah, that's fine. But no, as a defenseman, I read that and I say, and I still, seeing on a replay, he's going to take a slap shot. His body, and that was the beauty about Craig Janney in his heyday, and I know, Kurt, you'll agree with Adam Oates, is 99.999% of the time, he's going to pass the puck. He's going to pass. Yes, but then you see a play like this and you read the body language and you're like, oh, he's going to throw it on net. There's no way he doesn't because his body language is telling me that's what he's doing. And then he does that, makes a beauty pass through the seam and just finds Kevin Miller standing there waiting for the pass. I mean, just beautiful stuff.
Kevin Miller, former Red Wing. Kevin Miller.
Bill, you missed a goal.
Part of the Miller family dynasty.
Yeah,
He was a former Red Wing or future Red Wing? I'm trying to remember.
Future Red Wing, I believe.
In this game? Okay.
Because he was what? He was Kelly Miller's brother and Ryan Miller and Kip Miller's cousin.
No, he was with Detroit before St. Louis.
Hmm.
Oh, and he finished his career the last season in Detroit. So
you're both
I guess
correct.
we're both right.
Carson a shot. That deflects to the side of the net. Now to Barron or to Butcher in the corner. Up the wing to Ron Sutter to Basson.
Oh, look at that
Basson's
move
got a
by
breakaway.
Bob Basson.
That was a whole hook and a hold if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
You saw the jersey get pulled there. This is back in the day though, where you could go skiing behind a player.
Oh, yeah.
Hook him around the waist and pull yourself up to him. Did that all the time. Never called.
Look at Etiquette moving in on the play. I liked Brett Hedican.
I did too.
With one T, by the way.
I was sad to see him go.
I was too. You know, if Pronger would have came, I'm sure he would not have given him his 44.
Jeez, I still don't. Man, oh man, you don't fit out shoot from there. My God.
Nope.
Kent Hall.
Oh, look at that.
Game saver.
Sliding Joseph save.
To center ice, Basson. He'll shoot the puck in, and the Blues make a wholesale change. Here come the Wings. In their own end, Kennedy up to Izabar, a pass in the middle. Janney intercepts. Works in over
God, the way Janney
drop
just
pass,
controls the
Janney.
puck.
Look at that. Squeezing it between the pads, standing up. Man.
The Greg Millen. that save was patented by Greg Millen with those Aero Flex pads that he wore in the late 80s with the Blues.
We're moving ahead here to about 13 minutes into the third period. So there's about 7 minutes left in the game. And it is still obviously the same score. We did not miss any goals. So it's 4-3 Blues with about 7 minutes left. And it has been the Curtis Joseph show.
Yeah, good grinding shift by the fourth line, Philippe Ozon and the Sutter brothers.
Oh. Come on, Butcher.
Mark Butcher was skating as hard as he could. That was about 2.5 miles per hour.
three strides, too, and he's out of gas. Ooh. Clark Gas. They're out of business, aren't they?
Yeah.
Clark gas stations?
Yeah.
Well out of business.
They certainly are. the Clark Gas down in Soulard got shut down for watering their gas down with water.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's bad.
But that was back when that was back when gas was 79 cents a gallon. Why do you do that? That's pure greed.
I'm gonna ask our podcast listeners a question, since our viewers can see this probably. But if you guys remember what on ice ads were on the ice in this game, like under the ice.
Ooh, I know.
Done it twice. And if you know the era, you know the logo. In a few seconds. Think about it.
So podcast
1993.
listeners, send us a message on Facebook. Send us a tweet on Twitter, LGB Radio, or find us on Instagram and let us know.
And did you know this? Like, oh yeah, I knew that.
And who took them over? What is the current version for bonus points?
Oh,
That's a good question. I know this though. Oh God, I know this. When you
I
say
do
it, I'll
know
know it. When you say it, I'll like, yeah, that's it, but I can't think of it.
or are we gonna say it, or are we gonna make the podcasters get back to us?
Oh, we can say it in a little bit.
All right, we'll give you
We'll
some
sit in a
time.
little bit.
I'll sit here and hum the Jeopardy sound.
1993, the only on ice advertising. It's on there. So one ad, it's on there twice.
My dad was a big fan of the Spokesman. You guys remember the Spokesman for that particular company?
Oh God, no, I don't.
I don't.
It was the name of the company, and his name was literally company name Guy. He was known as company name Guy. Yeah, he was
Like-
awesome. He was funny.
Like, was he based in an island state off the West Coast?
I have no
It's the only
idea.
guy I can think of.
No, his name wasn't Guy.
Oh,
His spokesman name, his mascot name, I guess, was company name Guy.
The name of the company, the name of the ad on the ad on the ice is Boatman's Bank.
Boatman's Bank.
With
So he was known as the
a-
Boatman's Guy.
Essentially, the steamer's logo.
Yeah.
right. Oh man, I'm not gonna take time to go get it, but I found when we were cleaning out my parents' house, I found my St. Louis Steamers Carnival mirror. The
Oh,
logo
wow.
on the
Yeah.
Carnival mirror. Oh, it's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Like a
Bobby
square
Dallas?
mirror.
Gotta get it cleaned up a little bit, but yeah,
Yeah, Shanahan.
that's going up here.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah,
what's
so
his
the-
what's his
Primo.
name? Who's that? Primo, yeah.
Yeah, it's Keith Primo.
Shanahan and Primo
Rookie
kind of
year.
mixing it up there.
Future teammates in Hartford? Is that right?
Future
Yep.
6 overtime goal scorer for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Correct.
That was a great game.
Future,
Who's-
both, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Future
Look at
captains of the
Shanahan.
Whalers.
Shanahan totally drove Kosher's head into the glass. Oh my God, that was Kosher, right?
No,
No,
Cicerelli.
Cicerelli. Okay.
Cicerelli. I'll say Kosher wasn't around yet, I don't believe.
I was gonna say
Yeah, no.
when I said that. I was
26
like,
on this team for Detroit, I think, was Ray Shepard.
I think you're right.
Shenanigans. Shanahanigans. Shanahanigans.
Shenanigans.
Mike Leon.
Yeah,
Shenanigans.
you're right. Ray
Shenanigans.
Shepard.
You guys ever listen to the podcast Smartless?
No.
Okay, it's got.
I only listen
Jason,
to Let's Go Blues Radio.
Oh, it's got Jason Bateman and Will Arnett and Jack from Will and Grace. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But they do and the gist of it is that one of them gets a guest to come on, and the other two don't know who the guest is until the guest comes on. And one episode was Shanahan. Will Arnett got Shanahan to come on the show because they know each other, they're friends. And this was recently in Toronto. Do you know what they call Toronto? Their game plan in Toronto to their plan of attack with the
Shanna
roster.
plan?
The Shanna plan.
Yeah, the
I heard
Shanna
that and I'm like,
plan.
that's funny. The Shanna plan.
Yeah.
Hadn't heard that before.
Yeah.
I like that.
By the way, Boatman's guy, Jason Miller, remembers the Boatman's guy. He says, you can run, but you can't hide from the Boatman's guy. Yes,
Yeah.
that was one of the things he used to say.
That doesn't sound very appealing for it sounds
He
awful.
was, well, in the 90s, I'm sure
For
it
a
was more
bank.
acceptable.
For a
Yeah.
bank, yeah. You can run, but you can't hide. We're coming for you. We're
Oh,
coming for your money.
I'm sure those commercials would not live up now. They'd probably be like, what the hell is this? Because it was literally just a guy sitting on a stool talking in like a very dimly lit area. But for some reason in the 90s, they worked. Those were great commercials.
Speaking of 90s, there's a YouTube channel, a live YouTube channel that broadcasts 90s commercials 24/7. Just commercials.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Serious?
I've
It's awesome.
Yeah, I've put that
live,
on. Yeah,
Yeah, let
I've
it go.
put it on while I've been working. And the last
great.
time I did it, it was ABC Saturday morning.
Oh, nice.
That was beautiful.
Dude, I gotta ask
Super
our
Soaker commercials.
YouTube listeners, why the hell are you watching us if you could be watching live 90s commercials right now?
I know, right?
So my wife never saw the the Fresh Maker Mentos.
Mentos,
She
yeah.
does not remember the Mentos commercials.
Those are
So
awful.
there's a video on YouTube that's like
But amazing.
literally every Mentos commercial ever made. And I made her watch them, and she thought they were hilarious.
They came on a couple
And
times when I was watching the 90s commercials.
Yeah, in one of the best, if not the best, Foo Fighters video of all time. Was,
yes.
Was that Big Me that they did that for?
Yep, Big Me.
The Fresh Fighter. God, that was
Is that a
brilliant.
penalty? Do they call that?
They did.
Sure. Yeah.
Eiserman
Good.
won't touch the puck.
It is such a penalty. And they're pissed about it, too.
Brad McCrimmon, rest in peace.
Keith Price says they call it Royale with cheese. What's that in reference to?
I mean,
I don't know, but
clearly
Mike
it's,
Leon says Jeff Ponder is so sexy. That's why I watch.
Why are all
That's
of Mike
why-
Leon's messages
that's-
retracted? What happened?
I think he was sending provocative pictures in the YouTube chat.
Oh,
That's
well,
my
we allow
guess.
those.
Yeah, just to our cell phones.
Oh, he did a little chicken wing on the stick to clamp down on it, and
Yeah,
so that really
he
should
drew
have
the
been a penalty.
penalty.
Oh yeah, and he fell down.
Jason,
Ron Wilson.
crappy goalie says Leon is having a night. Yeah, he is. He's there's our tweet of the show, folks. Message retracted. There's our YouTube comment of the show.
3 minutes to go in the game.
Detroit shots on goal tonight. 20 for the Blues. The Blues
That's Ron Sutter.
The difference in the
Yeah,
game,
you
Kevin
can
Miller
tell
power
because
play
it's
goal.
It's not Rich because it
Because
says
it
Ron
says
on his
Ron
jersey.
Sutter.
right. Can't tell from the number 23
Four skaters. The Blues have 4. Here come the wings.
or 22, whichever one he was.
Gives the puck up.
You know, I kind of miss the little tiny blue notes at center ice
Goes on to Ron Sutter.
instead of the big, large one.
By Cheveldae.
Do you? I like the big one.
I think that looks cool. The little two on opposite sides.
Feeds in front. Eiserman not expecting the pass. Butcher not
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if they switched it, I'm sure after a year I'd be like, I miss the big one. Because that's just how it works.
Yeah. You know, it's nice and classic. I do like that.
I like the classic look.
I think it's hard to compete for the center ice logo. I think it's hard to compete with Phoenix and the retro thing they did.
Yeah.
With the moon and the
Ooh, that's a
coyote.
penalty.
Wow.
No,
They
Nope.
didn't call it.
Woo!
that would be a fun episode. Just put a game like late '90s game, and we have to say penalty or no penalty.
Ha!
Wait, this is a star player that's getting the infractions against a star player. It's a penalty.
I do have a couple random teams from the late 90s on my YouTube channel. Like, I think I have one, Phoenix and Vancouver. We could just turn on clips from that and say, penalty or no penalty? So that way you have no rooting interest.
Oh,
Whoa!
man.
What a hit.
Wow, Bozon got lit up.
So I did
Holy
find a
snipes.
couple more gems for you here, Jeff, that I'll get you at some point. Whalers
Whoa,
lose
wow.
third period.
Hit to the head. That was yeah,
sorry,
that's a suspension
sorry, Bill.
right there.
Man, that was a massive hit.
And a total hit to the
Yeah.
head.
He'd be going to the dark room right now.
And there was
Oh,
a
yeah.
suspension
If
for
that-
this.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
there'd be a
happens to- that's
suspension.
Right.
Twitter would be blowing up right now. I mean, it'd be
But this
nuts.
was the era where as long as the elbow was down, it was fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Bill Burr, what a hitter.
To go in this contest.
Sorry.
Remind you, the broadcast authorized by the St. Louis Blues hockey
Sean
club
Burr,
solely
right?
for the entertainment of our
Sean
radio
Burr,
listening
right.
audience. Any
Although Bill Burr would appreciate that.
Yes, he would. He would definitely appreciate that hit. Sorry, Bill. What were you saying?
So I have here a couple of more from the archives.
Oh boy.
Whalers at Blues, third period. This is from 96, 97. Gretzky slapshot goal against the Whalers, followed by speed. So there's that.
Oh, sweet! I can watch a VHS version of Speed.
Yes. So April 12th, 1995, St. Louis Blues versus Detroit Red Wings, tie 3-3.
Oh, all those ties.
You know, whenever I record a game and they would tie, I'd be like, wow, this is a wasted game to record.
Yeah. And then Dallas Stars versus St. Louis Blues, 3-2, I believe. I think this is 3-2 Dallas. Or maybe it's 2-1 Blues. I don't know. I'll give them to you and let you upload them.
So I'm going to go ahead and make some comments as this game's winding down here. We got about 110 left in this game. Still 4-3 Blues. Joseph, at the end of the night, makes 39 saves. And apparently, and keep this in mind, folks, apparently he has a big last minute of play. So that's coming. So make sure you keep your eyes out for that. At the end of the night, Red Wings outshot the Blues 42-21. So literally 2-1 in the shots.
And the empty net for Detroit. They pulled
Cheveldae goal already with about a minute 10 left. When asked where Joseph was after the game by the media, teammate Ron Wilson said he's in icing his knuckles. And when Joseph appeared back in the room, Garth Butcher said, "Don't get too close, boys. He'll drill you." So that there's some. You already mentioned the Guy Bear quote that I threw in there too. Yeah, just some great quotes after that game. Loved the stuff coming from the Blues.
I had forgot that Harold Schneps was assistant coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheech was a hell of assistant coach.
Forgot that. I loved it.
He probably just retired.
Yeah, this had to be the season after where he had retired.
Yeah.
But when he was with Vancouver, there's a great image of him like selling shoes in those Vancouver colors. The
Boy,
brown
Blues
and
cannot
yellow and
clear.
orange.
Tell me that doesn't sound familiar, Blues fans. Blues cannot clear the puck in the last minute of play.
Oh, look
Wide
at
open
that.
net. Wide open net.
Yeah, but it was on his backhand. And
It was on his backhand, but
forehand.
still, wide
Still
open.
couldn't clear it.
Yep.
Was
I think that
Sanford on
was
the ice?
Zach Sanford with it
Gotta
turned
love
over.
when the Blues
Right?
fans used to stand up at the old arena and you couldn't see because it's blocking
And
the
then
camera.
they had to switch camera angles too. Get around that. Oh,
Another save. Side of the net. The
Paul
Blues aren't even getting close to touching the
someone's
puck here.
stick's getting held. Oh my God! And Ron Sutter just threw somebody.
I mean,
down
it
the
is
ice.
mayhem.
Yeah,
There's a
and
penalty coming.
Marilelli's calling it.
And
Giles literally
dives
just
on the
falls
puck.
on the puck in the corner.
He dove on it.
I mean,
You can't.
at that point, I do the same thing. They had about 8 scoring chances there.
And Sutter just
And the
threw
puck just
somebody
kept
down.
going back to Fedorov.
Yeah, it always did. It always did.
Those are some good gloves. The CCM gloves you had there.
Oh,
Giles
yeah.
wearing?
I love those. Yeah, I mean, here's some saves here by Joseph. I mean, dude, I mean, look at that. Oh! Comes across.
Another
Bounces.
one.
Oh,
Here it is right
look
here.
at that. Oh!
Yeah. Bouncing puck.
Carson
though.
with the tuck
Jimmy
it chance.
Carson.
Keep it going.
Here's
Keep
Jimmy.
playing
Oh, man. And just
Yeah, it's
Joseph,
still-
just save after save.
Oh, my feet. Can you hear me? My feet froze.
Yeah, you're good.
No, all y'all are frozen, along with the game feed.
Oh,
That's
For
weird.
me.
well, you want me to call game by or play-by-play here for you?
It should snap back. Hopefully.
Well, you just so there's a
So,
penalty
Rich
here
Sutter,
for.
yeah,
I think that was
Rich
hooking.
Sutter
Let me
called.
make sure
No,
that's
that
right.
was the holding the stick.
That was apparently Ron Sutter for high sticking.
Yeah, Ron Sutter.
Really?
Yeah,
It looked like Rich.
yeah. They
He-
call it high
I
sticking.
could see the back of
According
his
to Hockey
jersey for
Reference,
Whitman.
according to Hockey Reference, it was Ron.
Mm.
Another massive save, maybe the best of the night, right there, with about 10 seconds left in the game. Dives
Nice
across,
screen.
makes a beauty save, and the Blues win it.
It was a good game.
God. And was this not a Saturday night game?
Probably. I was working at the Elks Lodge, so it that makes sense. I was, I think so.
What a game he played, especially at the end. Right off the face-off, Fedorov wins the draw from Wilson. It comes straight back to Mark Howe, who takes a long shot.
You know what? I'm gonna say it wasn't a Saturday night game. I'm gonna say it was a weekday game because I don't remember it being that
Ray
busy at work.
Shepard with a massive chance, should have tied it, and Curtis Joseph just covered every hole. Loved watching him playing goal, man. He was the best.
Like they say about great literature, you need a great start, a great beginning, and a
Oh, it was a Saturday. January 23rd, 93 was a Saturday.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So that is the
Everything's
end of our mystery hockey theater. So thank you everybody for tuning in for that. That was a lot of fun. So again, Curtis Joseph at the end of the night, 39 saves. Red Wings outshoot the Blues 42-21. Unbelievable night in goal for the St. Louis Blues and Curtis Joseph. That just, for those of you who didn't live through this time and maybe don't know much about the early 90s, it was the Brett Hull and Curtis Joseph show. Those guys, if it wasn't Joseph making massive save after massive save, it was Brett Hull scoring 4 goals. I mean, and then, if, obviously you've got your Shanahans, your Jannies, all those guys too. But I mean, my God, what an era of Blues hockey to watch.
Loved it. My favorite era.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not even close.
Imagine if Scott Stevens was still on this team.
Oh, but then we wouldn't have Kurt Giles.
That's true. Got to remember the Golden Adventures of Brett Hull, the awesome comic book that came out in the 90s, which was during this era. I think it was like 90, set in 94, wasn't it? Yeah.
I got it on the wall over there. I got it.
Yeah, it's 94 because the last one was called Power Play 2094. And I remember it was exactly 100 years. So yeah, 1994. This was this era. So just fun stuff, and that was a lot of fun to watch, especially the Joseph fight. Good Lord.
Jason Miller said the Blues always got big time outshot at this time in this era, and because Joseph got peppered, and that was his thing. I mean, he always faced a ton of shots, and he was always standing on his head.
Does he still have the record for most shots against in a season? I believe he does. I could be wrong on that. And the team made the playoffs that year. That's crazy.
Well, this was during the era we didn't miss the playoffs, right? That was 2006 was the Eric Brewer era began, and the Blues began missing the playoffs.
So this game jumped the Blues up to 21, 23, and 6 on the year. Red Wings fell to 27, 21, and 4. If you are wondering what the standings look like that season, first of all, the preseason odds for the Blues to win the Cup that year was a plus 2,000. So,
well, we finished 4th that year in the division.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
But
But
this was the year we beat the Hawks in Ufletum in the first round.
Oh yeah, the Janny year, the Janny goal.
Yeah, the Janny overtime goal against Belfort, where Belfort destroyed the locker room. Yeah, and then we lost to Toronto in 7.
So the standings that year, the Blackhawks finished number 1 in the division, of course, since the Blues were the upset special at that time. 106 points. Red Wings finished second, 103. Maple Leafs 99 points, and then the Blues with 85 points. Wow, I do not remember. This was the Norris division. Minnesota, Minnesota North Stars finished 3 points out behind the Blues at 82 points. And then to bring up the rear with 53 points. If you guys don't have it in front of you, any idea what team? Take a guess.
Oh, I know.
Bill?
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't remember them being in the North Division. Again, this is when I was 8 years old.
The Blues had the worst record, the least amount of points of any playoff team that season, and they beat the Hawks, who had the best record in the Campbell Conference, swept them. This was a huge upset in the first round. It was basically 1 versus 8, and eight sweeping a number 1 seed. That's what happened.
Yep,
crazy.
I had to, Blue Jackets Lightning a couple of years ago. Is what that reminds me of. Except then the Lightning went on to win 2 Stanley Cups.
Right,
Blues did not do that. Or I guess the Blackhawks did not do that. Preseason odds, I want to just point this out because I had to look. For the Tampa Bay Lightning that year, that was their first season in the NHL, plus 100,000. So you imagine making a $10 bet and the Lightning ended up going to win the cup that year. That you'd be a millionaire. I don't know the math, but I'm sure it'd be good.
And this was the Canadians and Kings in the final of the McSorley illegal stick game.
Yeah,
this was this was a great season.
Yeah,
and as your brother Keith points out in the YouTube chat, best era for NHL on EA Sports.
Yeah.
Oh,
the next
hell
season.
yes!
This resulted in NHL '94.
Yep, the next season, right?
You know what's funny is that I play that game now, and my son will sit there and watch, and he loves it. He thinks it's so much fun to watch, and I'm like, yeah, like even today, this is still a great freaking game to play. It's a lot of fun. Guys, we are going to go ahead and move on to some rapid fire hockey tidbits. Unfortunately, we got to lead off with a very sad story. Tony Esposito, Hockey Hall of Famer, and if anybody knows anything about hockey, you know this man's name. He passed away recently at age 78 after a brief battle with pancreatic cancer. He had a 16-year NHL career, almost all of them with the Blackhawks. Bill, I'm sure you remember him playing early in his career, 13 games with the Montreal Canadiens. And only reason he moved on was because they had a gluttony of goaltending prospects. So they ended up
Ken Dryden.
Yeah, Ken Dryden was there.
You're not going to surpass Ken Dryden.
No. So Esposito ended up moving on to the Blackhawks and having a ridiculous career. Still holds many Blackhawks records. I think he still holds their shutout record for one. Just an excellent goalie. Yeah. And I'll add to, I know I mentioned this on Twitter earlier today. I was lucky enough to sit right next to him when I was in the press box. So I sat usually next to the other teams, like one of their top media guys, whether it was Mark Lazarus or whoever it would be. But for whatever reason, this one game, it happened to be Tony Esposito and I guess the member of the Blackhawks PR staff. And so he sits down, and I look at him, and I'm like, oh, my God, it's Tony Esposito. And he looks over, and he reaches his hand out, and he goes, hi, I'm Tony Esposito. And I go, I know who you are. And he goes, and you're Jeff Ponder. And I'm like, what? And we have name tags, obviously, like where we're supposed to sit. And he goes, I just read your tag. And I was like, oh, I was like, how do you know who I am? I definitely know who you are. And we sat and talked about his playing days, the current Blackhawks at the time, which that was in the middle of their dynasty, the fans, how the fans treat him and how they treat him like he's a current member of the team. We talked and talked and talked. I mean, nonstop for 2 periods. It was riveting. And, I know that it sounds like I'm only saying this because he just passed, but I put him up there with only one other person that I sat next to. And had these conversations with, and that was Chris Pronger. He was genuinely a super nice guy, and I felt so stupid, but I had to ask him. Like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I've got to ask him. I said, hey, man, I really hate to ask, can I get a picture with you? And he's like, absolutely. And he pulled out his phone and he gave it to the Blackhawks PR staff. He's like, take a picture and send it and text it to him. And the PR guy gives him a funny look. And I go, how about you just take it with my phone? And he goes, oh, yeah, do that. Like, that's how, like, he didn't care that I was basically about to have his phone number. He didn't care. But the PR staff was like, that's probably not a good idea. You know, and it's like, that's the kind of guy he was. And so I was very upset when I saw this news. Just a genuinely great hockey mind, a great hockey guy, obviously an ambassador to the sport. Really sad to see that he passed at such a young age.
The Canadians have quite the goaltending history with bringing up Esposito and Dryden, and you got Plants and Waugh, and I mean,
Yeah.
Price hasn't won a cup. I mean, they've had quite the goaltending history.
Well, I mean, yeah, you literally could do an entire couple of hours covering that. I mean, going back, George Vezina, the best goalie trophy is named after a Montreal Canadian. But yeah, Espo only, he, like Ponder said, he was only there 13 games.
But still, they had him. So, I mean, yeah.
Right. It was I think the 68-69 season. A couple of great photos going around Twitter the last couple of days of that. Somebody posted a photo tonight of Espo and Bobby Orr on the same Blackhawks team in the mid-70s. But yeah, I remember going to those early 80s Blues Blackhawks games, and it didn't matter. Like, you say the Blues have a chance tonight, and you're looking at, is it Espo or is it Bannerman? Oh, they're both going to beat us, right? They had, that was towards the end of Espo's career, but yeah, you never wanted to face the guy. One of the greatest left-handed, right-hand catching goalies of all time. Ken Dryden being another one, but yeah, whatever.
Keith Price in the
Dryden's not, but
Keith Price in the YouTube chat says, I once met Bob Richards in an elevator at the zoo.
Wow.
I once mistook outside the Busch Stadium. I once mistook Jeff Bernthal for Mark Ferree. He yelled it out loud. Hey, that's Mark Ferree, and it was Jeff Bernthal. For those of you, Mark Ferree used to be on the anchor on Channel 11. Jeff Bernthal still is, I think.
Yeah, he is.
But they were both working, and it was kind of funny to me.
Reminds me
I told him on Twitter that I did that, and he did not recall that.
It reminds me of the time I was at a River Otters game, and probably a good, 20 yards ahead of us. I saw this guy walk in. He was wearing a nice shirt and slacks, and I just said to one of my buddies, I go, that looks like the back of Kelly Chase's head. And they were like, what the hell are you talking about? You're crazy. And then sure enough, he turns around and it's Kelly Chase. And I'm like, I have no idea how I knew that was him, but I called it. So give me props.
Darren Grice in the YouTube chat has a couple questions about are we better than the Stanley Cup team, and are the Blues going to be better this year?
At this point, I say no, but it's August. We'll see. Maybe some things change.
Well, I don't think they're done. So, I mean, right now they're better than last year's team.
Yes.
I mean, all things considered, especially when you consider a healthy Parayko, a healthy Thomas, if Tarasenko plays, hopefully a healthy Tarasenko, and plus Buchnevich is a member of the team now, which is a huge upgrade. So and Sod. I think this team is much better than last season. So I think you have that to look forward to. And then, if they do end up trading Tarasenko and then the return for him, whatever it is, they still say they're spending the cap. So they got, if they trade him, they've got some money to spend. Maybe a few, 3, 4, or 5 million, whatever they're going to spend. So I don't know. We'll see what they do. But I like the team the way it is now. It's just the Tarasenko thing's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
Agree.
Depends on the return you get for him when that happens. And I'm still squarely in the camp of when it happens. I don't think there's bridging that gap, but I don't know. Armstrong's gambled on other things and won. So
yeah,
I'm on the side right now that I think you start the year with him. I think you're not getting the trade value you want. You hope he gets hot, scores maybe 10 goals in 12 games or something like that. And then Armstrong starts fielding calls again and says, you can clearly tell this guy still has it. So what you got? I'm in that camp right now.
What if he scores 1 in the first 15? I mean, then what?
Yeah, then you're fucked. I'll agree. But I think for me at this point, even though I'm the guy who says he'll never be a 20 goal scorer again, I think you got to bet on Tarasenko and just hope that he at least comes out with fire and puts on a good showing to start the season.
I think if his shoulder is as good as his doctor says it is, and if he stays healthy, I think he's easily a 20-goal guy. Easily.
I have my doubts. I want him to prove me wrong. Whether he's a blue or not, I want him to prove me wrong.
There's caveats in there for me, obviously. He obviously has to play, so if he's healthy, and his shoulder has to be good. So, I mean, if you believe the doctors and that his shoulder is no more susceptible to being injured than any other player, which is what they said, then I don't think there's a reason to believe that he won't score 20.
And that's the case, but I also feel like even after he had his last surgery, he was shying away from playing the boards. He was shying away from, hitting the net and driving himself to the net as much as he used to. So I hope his shoulder is 100%, but I question whether mentally he's going to be the same guy he used to be.
That remains to be seen. We'll see. You would think with all this controversy in the offseason, it would piss him off to some degree.
Yeah. And that's why I'm thinking
he'd play past that, maybe.
And that's why I'm hoping they hold on to him at this point. I think you bank that he's at least pissed off enough to play at a higher level than what he's actually capable of at this point in his career. I've said this before, but the only problem I have with that is that former players have come out and said that if there's a guy who has voiced that he wants out publicly, trade me, then you move that guy. You don't hold on to him very long. You trade him. You just Tyler
get him
Johnson did that, and he won 2 cups with the Lightning.
I'm just saying. That's what former players are saying. That way I've heard.
I don't see and I don't see Tarasenko taking a fourth line center role just to stay here on the Blues like Tyler Johnson did. But I don't know. Like I said, Armstrong's made bigger gambles that have paid off, and keeping Tarasenko, a healthy Tarasenko, who puts up 30 goals, that as much as I hate the cliche, maybe that's the trade you don't want to make.
It's a dead period right now. Anyway, I think when you get closer to training camp, I think it gets moved. I think when teams start to, I think something might click with a team. Hey, we're getting close. We need to resolve this issue with our roster. We want an improvement here. Whatever. I think it gets moved before training camp.
Darren Grease again says thanks. And by the way, I don't recall that name in the live chat before. So if you are new to the live shows, Darren, I hope you tune in again because we do this pretty much
I believe
summers. It's a little more sporadic, but we try to do a live show at least every
he's-
week. But we are
he's
at
not-
least having a show come out every week.
He's not new to the show. He's been in the Discord chat before too.
Okay. Well, then I am. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? His name does look familiar now that you say that. Yeah. Well, that's at least to everybody who's listening. So make sure you keep that in mind. Keith Price asks, chance he goes back to Russia.
No.
I don't think there's any chance, in my opinion. He wants to make money. I think him and Yana are very happy here, and they want to stay here.
Well, he'd leave so much money on the table here. He wouldn't.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't make that near that over there.
Yeah, you're not going to make that in rubles.
No.
And then let's see. Lindsay Teasdale, who I think is a new live listener. Again, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Lindsay says Tarasenko will be on the top line, then Buchnevich on the second. That's kind of a hot take. I like it. I hope you're right. Because again, that means Tarasenko shows in camp.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
And Derek adds, at least it's less drama than the Sharks. Yes.
Correct.
Correct. What a mess.
Where's Puck Guy 14 to
I know,
that
right?
comment?
Jason Miller adds, I really want to avoid having him in the room. I don't like having a guy in the room who wants out. Yeah, it's pretty much what Kurt said and Bill said, but I agree. I think if you can get him out, you do. But I just think at this point, I'm fine with keeping him on the roster and hoping that he comes out hot and then maybe you get something big for him at the start of the season. Darren Grease. He says, it is Grease. Thank you. And I did take a little hiatus from Blues News. It's been a busy time. I hear you, man. I was just telling the guys before the show, I went back into the office this week. And even just preparing for this show, which, yes, folks, we do prep for this show. We do have banter before. We do make sure that we have things settled before we go live. We don't just wing it every week. I know it seems that maybe we don't, but yeah, it's been tough. So I completely get the hiatus talk. It's when life gets in the way, it's hard to really even focus on other things. So more news coming away from the Blackhawks news we discussed about 20 minutes ago. More Blackhawks goaltending news. Marc-Andre Fleury announces he will play for the Blackhawks this season. You can see video of him on the Blackhawks Twitter, Facebook, YouTube of him in a Blackhawks jersey, and it is disgusting. So, have a bucket to throw up in whenever you watch that.
The only issue I have with that is that I like the guy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
right.
I don't want to. I mean, I want to hate the Blackhawks, but I like him. But you know what? I'm actually kind of glad because the Hawks got better. Yeah, a lot better.
Yeah.
So I look forward to the games being meaningful this season. Where both teams are fighting for playoff spots and playoff positioning. That'd be kind of cool. So bring that rivalry back where the games mean something late in the season. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't think I've seen people. Well, there was one particular gentleman that said that the Blackhawks have thrust themselves back into Stanley Cup contention. I don't think that's the case. But getting Taves back, getting Seth Jones, getting Marc-Andre Fleury, the other minor adjustments, tweaks they've made, I think they're at least in the playoff discussion. And yeah, I'm all for it. I love it. Let's see the Blackhawks, because then that also means they're battling the other teams in the division too. So if the Blues and Avalanche are battling for the top spot, and let's say the Avalanche have 3 games coming up against the Blackhawks, party is rooting for the Blackhawks. So it adds more excitement and rivalries and just everything that we love about hockey. It adds to it when the teams in your division are good. So I'm all for it. Yeah, get better, Blackhawks, just so we can beat you and still gloat.
Jason Miller says, I never want the Hawks to be good. I want them to be awful all the time. But, yeah, I mean, I get it. But, yeah, I mean, there's when there's more on the line in a game, it just makes it that much better. I don't know.
It's funny, we just watched the Red Wings game tonight, and during a bitter rivalry between those two teams. I will say, if it were the Red Wings in the division, I would agree 100%. I don't know what it is, Jason. I don't know what it is. I hate the Blackhawks, but I will never hate them as much as I hated the Red Wings in the 90s. And I still hate the Red Wings. I still love how terrible they are. And if they ever were to come back to the Blues division, I would want the Blues to stomp them 8-0 every time.
Well, the Blackhawks kind of sucked in the later 90s. Yeah, well, anybody who, especially, people who became fans in the 90s with the Blues and the Red Wings, because it was either the Blues or the Red Wings. And there was so much heartache with the Blues constantly getting stopped by the Red Wings in the playoffs year after year. Couldn't get past them. And just all kinds of just stuff happening. The Yzerman goal in double overtime, the Yzerman low bridging Pronger in the playoffs and taking out his knee. When we're already down in the series, and then that happens, so it kind of like throws a wet blanket on any comeback hopes in the series that we had. Just all kinds of stuff. That there was a number of years there was just hard, and we could never beat them, never, and not in the regular season either. That was that one time. We beat them like once or twice a year tops, play them 8 times. That overtime goal by Dimitra against Detroit in the regular season. You guys remember that? Played Detroit, went to overtime. Having an era where you could not beat Detroit, and Dimitra scores in overtime to win on a breakaway. And it's funny that I remember that because the wins against the Red Wings were few and far between, and the Blues were a really good team. So,
see, I remember a game, I think it was early 2000s, where Chris Pronger scored. I think it was super late in the game. I think it was like 10 seconds left to put the Blues up late, and I think it actually clinched a playoff spot. And I remember just being like, this is so much sweeter because it was the damn Red Wings. And Hasek had come out to battle Doug Weight. Like he got pissed at Weight about something, and he came out in the middle of play, and Pronger had a wide open net and just shot it. And it was just, what the hell's happening? But hey, Blues beat the Red Wings. Fuck yeah, this is great. So yeah, same way, man. When it would happen, it felt so much better because it was just, we beat the Red Wings. I don't care that we lost 6 other times to them this year.
See, in this era of the there we talked about here, the 92, 3, 4, 5, that to the Blues and Red and Blackhawks were like, oh my God, that was, I don't know, man. That I'm trying to have a hard time deciding which team I hate more, that era Hawks or the later 90s Red Wings against the Blues. I hated them both with passion.
Yeah.
But there was no overlap there because the Hawks were good at when the Wings kind of sucked, and then the Wings were good when the Hawks weren't as good. So it was either the Blues and the Blues were battling one or the other, not both when they were both good. I don't think there wasn't much overlap.
No, not much at all. Well, guys, unless you have more to add, I think we are ready to start closing up the show here. I hope you all enjoyed the Mystery Hockey Theater, which, again, it sounds like people did. And, again, if you're podcasting, please let us know. If you love it, if you hate it, we want to hear from you. I say podcasting, but if you're also watching the live video feed later after we record, please let us know then, too, in the YouTube or Facebook comments. But yeah, I have a blast doing this, and I'm more than happy to set this up once or twice more this summer because I think like I said earlier, 3 of us love it. This is a lot of fun.
Derek in the YouTube chat did say I hated the Red Wings, and I'd be curious, Derek, when did you become a Blues fan? Was it mid to late 90s, or was it prior? I'm curious because did you come to be a Blues fan at the height of the Blues and Wings rivalry? Because that would make complete sense. Or were you a fan before and still chose the Wings? If you hear this and reply later, let us know. I'm curious.
Yeah, so I was an 85 kid, and I think that's why it's for me. As I was like really becoming like the super fan that I was as a teenager, that was at the height of the Red Wings. Just, I say teenager, I was probably 10
95.
or 11.
95.
Yeah, I was 10
you said,
at the time.
You said 85.
Yeah. So, and then of course the teenage years, they were phenomenal too. So, yeah, for me, it was always the Red Wings. And yes, I remember the Blackhawks being good with Roenick and Belfour and, all those guys. But for me, it was more the Red Wings, the team that are always beating the Blues, and the Blackhawks are on a downhill climb. And I still to this day, again, I still put the Red Wings above the Blackhawks. I hate them. I want to see that organization and their fans crash and burn every season. So, support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment of your DNA. Visit rockinthatidlife.com for more information. That's rockinthatidlife.com and get 10% off by texting Dustin at 636-393-8745 and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. That's 636-393-8745. And by Center Ice Brewery, St. Louis's hockey-themed brewery. Visit centericebrewery.com today to schedule a no-contact curbside pickup or to make a reservation in their awesome tap room. While you're there and enjoying a number of their fantastic beers, you can admire the bar top and tables made of authentic arena wood. Located at 3126 Olive Street in Midtown St. Louis, it's one of the best places to watch a Blues game. That's centericebrewery.com. Please drink responsibly. That will do it for episode 48 of season 9 of the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks for those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the show. We had a blast doing it, folks, as we always do, so thank you for tuning in. For Kurt Price and Bill Day, I'm Jeff Ponder, and this was Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, let's go a Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Red Wings suck.
Kurt, you're a smart guy.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at sports.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to #1. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are on the ice tonight again. They're rough and tough and got the stuff to win.